Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice. We'll open up through the chest, through the upper back, and get into the shoulders and get some movement going there. Get some energy flowing through our bodies. Bring yourselves to your mat. You may want to block for the practice, a block or two, so grab those and have them handy. And then find your way into a comfortable seat. Whatever feels good for you right now. I'm sitting in Vajrasana with my knees bent, sitting up on my heels. If that works for you, feel free to do that. You could also tuck a block underneath your bum to take a little bit of the pressure off your knees here. Or you could just find another comfortable seated position. And feel free to elevate the hips. Find a nice upright alignment through your spine. And take a moment to get yourself situated. And then when you feel ready, you can close your eyes or find a soft and steady gaze. And just take a quick moment here to check in with yourself before we start to move. Take stock. Notice how you're feeling today. Letting go of judgment, but just becoming curious about what is happening for you. Notice any thoughts floating through, any emotions that you might be dealing with, feelings, any physical sensations in your body. Just observing what is there. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose to carry that intention off of the mat out into the world with you. And just take a few nice, deep, smooth, steady breaths here. In through the nose and either out through the nose or out through the mouth. You can sigh the breath out. Make an audible sigh if you like. And then begin to slowly flutter the eyes open if the eyes are closed. We'll begin to start slowly moving. Take your fingers and bring them right underneath your collarbone. So come to center those little knobby parts of the collarbone. And then bring your fingers right underneath. Just start to gently massage that space underneath the collarbone. You can start at the center towards the sternum and then gently massage your way out towards the sides of the body. And then move down underneath the next rib and just gently massage the tissue in between that rib and the one below it. Again, starting at the center of the body and slowly massaging the fingers out towards the sides. Giving our musculature or fascia on the chest a little love, a little gentle hydration and release. And you can move down in between the next two ribs. Same thing, gentle massage. Maybe go down one or two more ribs. And now bring your hands to your sternum, the bottom of the sternum, right at the center of the rib cage. And gently press the fingers in there and begin to massage the fingers up the sternum. And now take your fingers over to right inside the arms, sort of where the arms attach to the body. You could do, take the opposite hand to opposite side, give yourself a little massage that way. Do one at a time, or maybe both hands across the chest. You massage the fingers right into that sort of seam at the front of the arm, getting some of the lymph moving from the lymph nodes. And then release the hands. We'll take fingers to the shoulders, elbows out to the sides, and roll the right elbow forward, left elbow forward, and then continue like this, a few circles. And then roll right elbow back, left elbow back, and then continue a few more times circling elbows back. And release that down. Take the arms down to the sides. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. Bring the palms together. And exhale, drop the hands back behind the head. Reach the elbows up towards the ceiling. Hug in through the belly and lift up through your heart. Maybe you drop the head back into the arms just a little bit. And then zip up through the belly. Bring the hands back together at the heart. We'll take it over onto hands and knees. Coming into a table position and just finding a little movement here, rocking yourself side to side, wiggling the spine, finding some snaky movements. And then bringing yourself to center, and then we'll roll through some cat-cow. Inhale as you drop the belly down, tip the tail up, draw the heart forward through the arms and lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, press into finger pads, round the back up towards the ceiling, drop the tailbone down towards the mat and look towards the navel. Inhale, again, you find your way back into your cow, tailbone tilts up, belly drops down, heart lifts. And then as you exhale, find that cat again, rounding through the back, pressing the hands down into the earth. And a couple more times. Bring yourself back into your table. We'll extend the right leg back behind about hip level-ish. Hold it here or root down into your right fingers and reach forward with your left arm. And then either hold it here or bend the back knee and draw that foot in towards your bum, and then reach back with that left hand, grab a hold of the foot, pull it in, and then push the foot out into the hand behind you. Really pressing down into the right hand, right fingers, lifting up through that right palm, all the way up into that right armpit. And then release that left foot, extend yourself back out, and release hand and knee down to the mat. Take it to the other side, send left leg back. Right arm reaches forward, holding here, or bend the back knee, pull it in towards your bum, reach back with that right hand, grab a hold of the foot, pull it in towards your bum, and then send the foot out into the hand behind you. And then release that foot, bring yourself back through your cat balance, and then release the hand and release the knee. Keeping your hips where they are, lined up above the knees. We'll take the right forearm down to the mat. You can have it parallel-ish to the top of the mat or at a little bit of an angle. And you can slowly lower your forehead down onto that right arm. Walk the left arm out in front of you and come up onto your left finger pads. And you could also tuck a block underneath your forehead if that feels a little better for you. Pressing down into the left fingers, lifting up through that left forearm, all the way up into that left armpit. And then we'll switch arms. Now take that left forearm to the mat, either parallel-ish to top of the mat or at a little bit of an angle. Again, you can rest your forehead down onto that left arm now. Walk the right arm out, come onto the right finger pads. Lift up through that right arm, up through that right armpit. Press down into the right fingers. And then we'll bring that right forearm in. So either stack your forearms here on top of each other, drop your forehead down, coming into a version of Anahatasana or puppy pose, or if it feels okay for you, you can walk your hands down the mat and slowly lower your forehead down to the mat or to a block. Again, if you like, you could come up onto your finger pads here. If it's available, you could even drop down onto your chin and allow the chest to melt down towards the mat, only if that feels okay for your neck. And then we'll walk the hands back in, coming back through your table position. Let's take it onto our belly. You'll bring that left knee out to the left side. 90-degree angle at the hip and at the knee. And then we'll press down into the left finger pads. Thread the right arm underneath your chest. Take the left palm on top of the right. Slowly begin to peel yourself open, finding a reclining twist, rolling over onto your back, bringing that left arm either out to the left side, or you could bend that left elbow, cactus that left arm. You may be able to feel some sensation up into the armpit here, getting into the pec major. And then we'll slowly bring that left arm back to where it came from. And then you can plant your left fingers, pull that left leg in, roll over back on to your belly, and let's take it over to the other side. Take that right knee out to the right side with the knee bent, finding that 90-degree angle here. Come up onto right finger pads and then thread left arm underneath the body. Right palm comes to meet the left, and then slowly begin to peel yourself open, finding this reclining twist. Right arm extending out to the side in T formation, or then you could bend that right elbow and cactus the arm. And if the arm doesn't reach the mat or the ground, you could tuck a blanket or block underneath the arm or the hand or the elbow. And then slowly roll over on to your belly again. Take hands underneath the shoulders, press yourself up into table pose again, and then we'll take it into a downward dog. Spread the fingers wide, tuck your toes under, press into the hands, glide your hips up and back, downward dog. Bigger little bend in the knees here, press down and out through the hands, begin to pedal out your legs. And then roll up onto balls of your feet, and then press your heels towards the mat. Again, roll up onto balls of feet, and then press heels towards the mat. And then one more time, roll it up onto the balls of the feet, and press your heels towards the mat. From your downward dog, we'll slowly, slowly, slowly lower the right forearm down to the mat and come up onto left finger pads. So coming into a sort of a half dolphin, half dog. And then we'll plant that left hand down to the mat, press into the hands, lift that right forearm up off of the mat, and then we'll switch it to the other side. Lower that left forearm down to the mat, roll up onto right finger pads, press down into the right finger pads, down into that left arm, rooting down through the heels. and then plant that right hand down to the mat, lift that left forearm back up, drop the knees down to the mat, come back to sit on your heels, grab your block. We'll tuck the block in between the thighs, come up to stand on the knees, and if you need a little push under the legs, you could tuck a blanket underneath you here. You could have the tops of the feet pressing down, or you could curl the toes under, tuck the toes. Let's take the hands around to the low back, fingers pointing up or down or in, whichever feels best for you. Draw the elbows in towards each other, squeeze that block together, lift the heart up, lift the gaze up. Squeeze that block, draw in through the belly, bring yourself back upright. Let's take the arms out to the sides and up, palms together overhead, then bend the elbows, drop the hands back behind the head, squeezing that block, lift up through your heart. Squeeze the block, hugging through the belly, bring it back upright. Bring the palms down to the heart. And now you can, if you like, grab a couple more blocks or take the block out from between your thighs and use that one too. Take one block alongside the feet or the hips, or you can keep your hands at the low back here. We'll begin to take it into a camel pose. So either hands at low back, and take your hands on to your blocks alongside the feet. Or if it's available to you, you could reach the hands back for the heels. I like to do it with the block, so you're really squeezing in through the thighs, hugging in and up through the belly, protecting through that low back, and then lift up through the heart. You can keep your gaze forward or shift the gaze up. And squeeze the block if you still have it, hugging through the belly, lift yourself back up, untuck the toes if you're tucked, pluck the block out, come back to sit on the heels. Take a breath here, and then let's take it back up. So blocks if you want them, no blocks if you don't want them, whatever works for you. Take it back into another camel. So hands around to low back, hug in through the legs, spine nice and long, crown of the head reaching up. Then maybe hands come back to the blocks, back to the heels, hug in through the thighs, lift up through the belly, pelvis radiates forward, heart lifts. Maybe you drop the head back a little bit. And then zip up through the belly, bring yourself back, hands to the heart, untuck toes if they're tucked. Sit yourself back down on your heels. Pause. And then let's take the fingers around behind you. Interlace fingers at low back. Bigger little bend in the elbows. Keep the hands at the low back, or maybe pull the arms off the back a little bit. And we'll take the hands around to the right hip. Squeeze the hands together, lengthen up through the spine, sit up tall. And then we'll switch the hands, bring the hands back behind you and then over towards that left hip. So both hands pressing into the left hip, palms together, spine nice and long, sitting up tall. Release the hands back behind you, release the arms, then cactus the arms, bend the elbows. And now reach the hands back behind you, bring the palms together, hands drop back behind the head, elbows reach up, heart reaches up. And then zip up through the belly, bring yourself back, hands come back down to the heart. And that's it for today, folks. Short, quick, little gentle opening through the chest, through the upper back, through the arms and shoulders. Hope it helped. Hope you feel good. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. With love and gratitude. Namaste.